Hello, I'm PS3 and welcome back to the video. Today I have some pretty exciting Minecraft news to share with you all. That is for all three platforms of Minecraft, that is Minecraft Console, Minecraft PC and Minecraft Pocket Edition, because it looks like there's going to be a giant update happening in the next few months which is going to change every texture in the game. That's right, every texture with just a few exceptions is going to be changing in this next update, and although it's not going to be too significantly so, it's more updating the textures than entirely changing them. It is going to be kind of a big deal, which is why I was confused by it, and I figured I'd go through all the examples we've seen in today's video and show you exactly what Minecraft will look like in just a short amount of time for all platforms. So hopefully you do all enjoy this video. You can like it if you do like it, because it helps out the channel and lets know you do like the Minecraft news videos, especially when it's on something as big as this. Because you have to keep in mind, even if they only update 50% of the textures, that's still hundreds of Minecraft textures changing, and that still means the game is going to look giantly different in the next update for, again, console, PE, and PC. So let's just get straight into mentioning that this is happening on the PC first, and then like with the brand new concrete blocks and stuff like that, it's going to happen on the other platforms first. But bear in mind, the new concrete came to console first, then it came to PE, then it came to PC. So even though this is focused on PC, it still has big effects on those other two platforms. Anyway, that said, let's get straight into the first tweet, which comes in from Jeb, who says, happy to have @Jasper on the team fixing up the pixel art in Minecraft, a small before/after preview. Then the very first thing he shows off is the Nether portal. So this single tweet by itself probably was a bad example to get started with, because as you can see, the Nether portal has changed in this update, but it changed in a way a lot of people don't like. So the left is the old one, the right's the new one, just in case you can't tell. But as you can see, the texture of obsidian, which is basically what has changed here, is just something that most people didn't like. A lot of people said like it's vaguely coal block looking, or it looks just like a obsidian goes from being this really unique block to being just a generic block. A lot of people didn't like it, and it caused a big uproar, especially on Reddit. So in response to the things from Reddit, the Jasper, the guy and head of Pixar, has been making some changes about how he presents stuff, including this Nether portal itself. But here is the exact details that he then tweets out later, because he said, Jeb already stated we're updating all the blocks, and then he follows that up with a reply to his own tweet saying for all versions. So that means that yes, every single version of the game is going to be getting these. It seemed like at first it might be like the PC doing its own weird thing, but this is going to be all for all platforms, like with the concrete, which means that PC, console, and Pocket Edition in presumably 1.13, 1.3, and like let's call it TU58 for now. But the next update for all three of those platforms, TU57 maybe, the next update for all those three platforms after they finished all of this will contain the brand new block textures, which is kind of a big thing, honestly. But yeah, that's something that's going to be happening right here. And then also keep in mind that he says one after thing after that, which is except for some new blocks like terracotta, they already look great. So he says he's going to change every block, but then he says not some, which is confusing. Like, wait, you can't say you're going to change everything and then say not some. But what that just means is every texture in the game is going to change at least slightly, but with a few exceptions. So it's not going to be that there are just some textures changing, it's most textures changing, which is still a very big thing. Again, that's like 90% of textures, perhaps even more, changing in the next big update, which is a really big deal. A lot of people are having a hard time adjusting, especially when that's the first thing that we've seen of this update. Like, wait, they're changing Minecraft? Why are they changing Minecraft? And although, my first reaction was like, is this really necessary? We've now seen some examples. We've seen about 5 or 6, well, we've seen 6 different screenshots. We've got a bunch of examples, let's call it 10 or 15, different brand new blocks that have changed, and we can now get a real feel for what they're doing with it, which is what I'm going to be showing you here, so you can get a feel for this next texture changing update. So again, bear in mind, this is going to be coming out in previews first. They're going to really go over each one. They're going to get community feedback like they did with the obsidian, but let's jump straight into this first one right here, which is the iron block. So this is the first block they announced changing after the Nether portal one. As you can see, the iron block gets very slightly spruced up on the right there. It's such a small change that you can barely even see it, but I like the right one a little bit more, I guess. So as you can see, the iron block has one of the most subtle changes, but it's proof that they're really changing every block. Even if it's only very slightly, they're going to still go ahead and change it. Then we've got the second block over here, which is the second attempt at the Nether portal. As you can see, they made it look a little bit like a compromise between the old obsidian and the new one, and I'm okay with this, honestly. I think some people still have issues with it, but I actually kind of like this. I think this looks like brand new obsidian. I think it's a big improvement, and I guess, yeah, that actually does kind of work. Then we've got the diamond block, and this is one of the big changes. It goes from just being a generic light blue block to being like actually a block that looks vaguely made out of diamonds. However, the thing I don't like about this is it looks a lot like a texture pack diamond, and I know that's just because it's brand new and that's confusing, but you can actually see here that yeah, it's got like the weird cross pattern going over it. It goes from being a very consistent blue block to being the exact opposite of consistent in every way. There's like a texture in the background, then a texture in the foreground, then that's all in a square, and maybe that's something that looks really good to some people, but to me it just doesn't hit the spot at all. I don't really like this brand new diamond, but again, it looks more detailed, and maybe that's something people like in Minecraft, but personally I'm not a big fan. And just as a little secret, here's something you probably didn't notice on this one. They've also actually changed the tall grass texture. So if you look just above where the right diamond block is, the single diamond block, if you look just above that, you can see some tall grass. So regular grass, as in 1 block high grass, doesn't seem to have changed, but 2 block high grass apparently has. You can see a very subtle change there, and again, again, it's just nice that they're going through and changing these things very slightly. So then we've got this third one right here, which as you can see is the jungle wood door, the jungle plank, and therefore the jungle half slab, but also the cauldron changing, and they all look a lot better. The cauldron, I think, sorry, the jungle door, just I think it's better in general. Like, jungle doors aren't that great right now, and they look better here, so that's good and stuff. I think everything about this door just looks a bit better, especially when there's two of them. But then we look at the cauldron, and the cauldron again, it just goes from being this generic grey slab to being like, ooh, there's some textures going on there. And I'm not sure if Minecraft really needs this, but I think in this case it does look better. And if you look at the jungle wood too, it just looks a bit more realistic, I guess you'd say. Maybe Minecraft's getting a realism update, and that seems to be the case. So, I made that whole video on like, is Minecraft getting more realistic? And it seems like they're really trying to make tiny changes like this one to move in that direction, because as you can see, here's a few blocks that have changed in that way. Then we've got over here, you can see another one which had to be changed a few times, but here is the current iteration of the brand new birch tree. As you can see, they took the old birch tree on the left, one of the oldest trees in Minecraft, the second oldest tree that is, and then they've changed it on the right over there to look a little bit more, again, the only way I can describe it is realistic. It doesn't just, it's not quite a sharper texture, it's more like kind of blurry, I guess, to look at, but I guess that makes it look slightly more like a birch tree. I'm not entirely sure, but I actually do kind of like the one on the right. And then in response to a lot of people saying now the birch wood looks really out of date of the other one, you can see that Jeb actually tweeted out another image, this one right here, showing off every single block having a similar change to it. And that means that wood, every type of wood is changing in this update, and since we've already seen the half slabs have changed, and so have the doors, the half slabs, the stairs, it looks like everything is going to be changing in this update, and we have even more proof of that because we have something right here which is the brick texture. So the brick texture is finally seeing a change. This was one that was just really out of place with the rest of the Minecraft blocks, and it looks like it blends in just a little bit better by being lighter, by being stuff like that. But the thing I find interesting is they still haven't fixed the texture glitch with the brick stairs. It has this really annoying thing where you look at it and you can never unsee it, but it's still there. So they're changing the textures, but they're not fixing them. They're just changing the colors and making them look slightly different colored. And I guess I find that interesting, but in general, the whole is this texture change needed? I don't think it is. I think it's going to be interesting to see. I'd love to see, the feedback from people. Is this going to be better or not? To me, it just seems like one of those semi-pointless details of the game, because, if you wanted to change the textures in Minecraft, you already have texture packs that could do that. They could just release a brand new texture pack and call it the recommended one, but they're going to be changing the default textures for everyone. If you want to use existing Minecraft textures, you'd have to install a brand new texture pack or something, and since that's something most people won't do, and it won't even be available on the console, it makes me wonder, is this going to be a good change to Minecraft, or is it going to be one of the things that people look at and say, oh yeah, that was when things started getting a bit weird? I think, personally, it will be by most people considered, somewhat good, because personally, I don't care about this sort of stuff, but I always see people in my comments being like, oh, I really love this texture because the color is just that 1% better, Toycat, and, maybe those sorts of people are going to be really made happy by this, and maybe the rest of us just won't notice. I probably wouldn't have noticed the brand new brick texture if they'd introduced it by itself, unless someone told me, or unless I was just really looking closely. So maybe this sort of stuff, by most Minecraft players, it's just going to be overlooked as oh, the game looks slightly different, let's move on with the day. So I want to know what you think about all of these changes, though. Let me know in the comments down below. Do these changes, every single one of the ones we've seen, do they look like things that you could just look over and say, oh, that's a thing? Or are these all big deals to you? And do you think even there's a chance that you will want to go through and install the old textures because you just don't like them? Because I'm torn. Every single one of them, I'm like, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad, this one's actually really good, this one's and I want to know what your opinions are in the comments down below, because this is all about what the Minecraft community thinks. It's not about what YouTubers think in this particular case. All I know is that this is going to be an interesting time, and it's going to be an interesting update for the console, because everything's just going to suddenly change, and I want to see how it's one of these things I want to see the reaction to more than anything else. But I want to hear what your things are. Comments down below. Like it if you liked it, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Make sure you hit the bell too, because belling me is a good way to see these videos and actually get notified every single time they're uploaded, which is a good idea. And since I don't upload one of those obnoxious 30-second clips at the start of the video making, saying that you gotta bell me, then that's a good way to say, yeah, thank you, Toycat, for not wasting 30 seconds of my time. But anyway, thank you very much for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.